Hey everyone, I'm Michael and this is Corbin, and we're here with State of the Game address. Here with Same Game. It's very cold down here in the basement.
Very cold.
So I might be shaky. It's not because I'm nervous, it's because it's very cold.
It's because the game changed.
It's very cold.
Yeah.
We're here with the points change for X-Wing.
2.0.
I already think it's needed, and I'm pretty excited. I'll get into that, I guess, a little bit.
I think that it was necessary just because with the addition of the two new factions,
Yeah.
with Resistance and First Order, and all the changes that brings to the game, it's good that they have this format now where they can kind of change older stuff to keep it relevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was a little leery about it at first, just because I don't know. Once we're on to 3.0, it's the dreaded like, oh, we don't update the game anymore kind of thing. We don't have anything hard on the cards to just be like, this is the point amount. Like if we're showing our grandkids the game, hopefully.
Hopefully that app is still around.
Yeah, hopefully the app is still around. After this first point update thing, I think it's going to be a good thing, at least for the current play, especially competitive play.
Yeah.
I know there's some complaints about just casual playing, keeping up with everything.
Yeah, I think it probably makes some casual lists a little bit more difficult, just because if you want to fly some of those upgrades that got more expensive, like I think it was with the proton torpedoes, jumped way up.
3 points. 3 points.
Yeah. So like, if you were, messing around with a bunch of ordnance or things like that, and now you can't quite have as many, that might make it a little less casual, but it's important, like Michael was saying, for the competitive.
Yeah, I was talking with Tim about how Rebels felt just like I was playing a Rebels list and then a Resistance list, and every time I was playing the Rebel list, it was like I would get to a point and then I would be like, man, I wish I had one more thing. Just this one thing, it would make, like, even just a focus token would be awesome right now.
The new editions definitely feel a lot stronger, and we were talking about that in our last State of the Game episode, a little bit how it was less of a power creep and more of a power leap.
Yeah.
And it seems like, with just the stuff that I've seen, at least, of the Separatists, that it's going to be another kind of power leap, although in a little bit different manner.
Yeah.
And then I guess we've yet to see with the Republic how they're going to be.
Yeah.
But
I'd imagine a lot of Force stuff happening, but
right.
Yeah.
So those point updates are going to keep Rebels, keep Empire, keep the older stuff relevant, I think.
Yeah.
Just by making them a little cheaper to balance it out.
Yeah. So do you want to get into what's changed and what we think of what's going on? We won't go through all of the different point changes.
That might take a little while.
Yeah, we'll hit the highlights or the lowlights, I guess. So let's, I guess, talk about Rebels first. Rebels. So Rebels, I don't know. I would say the biggest thing that stood out to me was the E-Wing. Very big fan of the E-Wing. You can have 3 E-Wings, like,
nice.
pretty loaded out for like $199, and it's just like pretty cool. But I'm more excited about Corrin and the fact that we can fit him in with some other ace players, some other actual decent builds.
Nice.
So yeah, very excited about that. And then I think one of the things they said in the article was about how they wanted to focus on getting some more large ships into play, because right now in competitive it's mostly swarms and 3, 4, even 5 ship builds, so.
Large space ships just don't quite feel worth it yet. So maybe with the points update they'll be a little bit more worth it,
hopefully. I was playing around with Lando a little bit. Rebel Lando, I thought he was already like great, especially with teamed up with Luke, that kind of thing. And they dropped him 12 points. The highest point change was him going down 12 points, which is crazy. Insane for me.
That is interesting to me, just because he was the same points before as Han.
Yeah. With
a lower initiative, but I guess you would argue a better ability, or
I don't know. I think it just depends on the situation, the build. But it's definitely one of the more action efficient ships or abilities in Rebels.
So in my opinion, if he's going to be a lower initiative but not a better ability, he should be cheaper than Han by
Sure.
at least a couple points.
Yeah.
So I think that point change was good since
Yeah.
they dropped all of
Him
the YT
under-
1300
right.
pilots, right?
Yeah.
Still, big adjustment.
Yeah.
12 points is...
That is pretty huge for a big ship.
yeah.
So, yeah, and then I think maybe we'll see some more regen in this next wave, hopefully. I don't know. It was kind of not worth it with R2 being so expensive. R2
Right.
and R2D2. Yeah, but they dropped both of those 2 points, which is almost worth it. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try it out.
I don't know. The disabled token,
Yeah.
that to me is huge just because I've never been a defensive player. I've always been an offensive player.
Mhm.
And it's just not being able to attack for a round. I understand, like, if you can clear your opponent's ships and, you know, take a turn to regen, come back in. But the ships that you put R2 on, I'm not sure they can do that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, they're not necessarily fast enough.
Yeah.
Things like that. And so it's a hard sell for me. And that goes along the lines with, I don't know if you want to jump into this one yet, but
Sure.
the jamming beam.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they made that one a free upgrade, which...
Yeah, this is kind of a new element, I guess, to the game.
Yeah.
Which is really nice because it's giving you an option. It's giving
Yeah.
your opponent a choice too. So it's like he could jam you at this turn. He could not. He could just choose to attack.
Right.
But it's nice to have that option for 0 points.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Scum?
Yeah.
Scummies?
So Scum got a lot of different changes. One of the big ones being that the Jump Master, every one of the Jump Masters actually went down in price, which I think that was a good call.
Not a huge jump, but
Yeah, not a huge point change, but I think it was definitely a good idea. It's interesting that they did that though, just because I know in 1.0 they were definitely getting sick of seeing the Jump
Yes.
Master
Yeah.
on the table. So like it's interesting to see them going ahead and jumping the price down. One I'm really excited about is that the Havoc, actually, the Scourge Havoc, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it, that it actually, all of those pilots got cheaper.
Yeah.
And that they added the gunner slot. I think that was huge just because I've looked at flying that ship, but the only configuration I can figure out so far has been it's great as a bomber,
yeah.
not great as anything else. Even though it's got that turret slot, it's just not worth it because I want the higher initiative of somebody like Locke, Sol Sixa. And then Locke is down at a 2 with no ability. But now, because it's a little bit cheaper, it might be worth it, you know, for Locke or even maybe for Nim, and then get a gunner on there, use that turret to attack twice, do something like that, you know. And then another one I'm really excited about is Asajj on
Yeah.
the Shadowcaster.
Yeah.
That one actually dropped down 8 points, I believe, from 84 to 76.
That's pretty big. Yep.
Yeah, so that makes her the cheapest large base ship with a force ability, as far as I'm aware. I don't think anything's cheaper than that. So you get 2 force charges, you get Asajj's ability.
Which Tim probably pretty excited about.
Yeah, Tim's definitely been talking about flying that one. So I think
Shadowcaster. He misses that.
I think that's going to make it good.
Yeah.
The bane of everyone's existence, the Han Gunner. They brought him up 8 points from 4 to 12.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty big leap, but I think everybody's been a little upset about the Han Gunner just because
Yeah.
he was so good.
Yeah.
Like getting a focus token, even though
I don't know if he was that good though. You know?
Yeah, the thing is, everything in 2.0 changed action efficiency.
That's true too.
And so
That is
now,
true.
like, he's almost like having push the limit. Because, you know, half the time in 1.0 with push the limit, you're going for a focus plus whatever. Or you're going for whatever plus a focus. So getting Han, getting that extra focus, you know, being able to target lock focus every round if you've got a ship with enough blue maneuvers.
True. Yeah.
Like, that's you know, nothing to squawk at.
Also, speaking of Han, different versions of Han have gone all over the place.
Oh my
I don't know
gosh.
if you've noticed.
Han is just apparently...
He's the focus of Star Wars right now.
Right.
I just feel like the face of Star Wars.
It's almost like they could make a whole movie just about him.
That would be insane. Don't do it, Disney. So I'm a fan of Solo. It's okay.
So good.
Rebel Han Gunner, they shut down that whole Rourke, Han, Dash build. I don't know if you saw that either. But that's a thing, or not a thing anymore.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with that, before it used to be
Yes.
that you could use Roark to attack with Dash.
Yeah.
And if you had Han on
Initiative
there,
7, yeah.
you could choose Initiative 7. You use Dash to attack first, and then you use Han at Initiative 7. Now they're saying Han shoots first.
Yes.
Chespokututa Krista Krenko. Ya Oscar.
Yes, I bet you have.
Empire. So Vader went down 5 points, which
That's
is
pretty big.
pretty big for, in my opinion, I guess. And then they wanted to punish the Punisher and the Bomber a little bit. They just thought it was a little too heavy.
And it's because ordnance are just so good.
Right.
You got to limit how much can go on the list. Like, you can't have 5 ships loaded out with great missiles that are attacking with those missiles multiple times each, not
Reloading
necessarily
and-
each round, but like,
Yeah.
attacking with it one round, going to the next round, attacking again with that same ordnance, just because they've added that so that ordnance feel more valuable because you get multiple charges,
Right.
Things like that. But you still don't want those getting overpowered.
Which is why they upped those points, so it's those ships specifically. And then the other thing in Empire, I would say, is the Phantom lost its crew slot and gained a gunner slot.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
a weird call to me, just because I just don't think of the Phantom as having a gunner position, like,
like a turret type
IRL.
ship. Yeah, yes.
But
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Phantoms to say that for sure. But
So I don't know. I haven't talked to too many Empire players to really get a good feel for it.
I mean,
What do you think?
Tim's our in-house Empire player.
It stinks that you can't use Vader on it, but Fifth Brother will be good, especially with the point reduction.
I could see that. I don't know.
First Order Resistance, not a lot
Not
of
too
changes.
many changes. They changed the silencer, TIE silencer. That was the only one that dropped some points, which is good because I hadn't seen like any in play.
It also lost the mod slot, right?
Yes, lost
That's
the mod slot.
interesting.
And then the bomber and the resistance dropped some points to probably make up for trajectory simulator.
Honestly, I wonder if it would have been a better choice rather than just changing Trajectory Simulator as a whole. If it would have been better to do something like they did with the shield upgrades or things like that, where it just costs more on a large base ship.
Yeah.
Because I could see where it would be almost too good with the bomber, just because they have some
sure.
crazy abilities,
Yeah.
things like that. But
Especially with like Finch and just being able to put it
yeah,
anywhere around you, then dropping it behind you too with a skilled bomber and then launching it 5. That's pretty crazy.
that's just
Or 4 or 5.
I think it really hurts the Havoc if you want to set that up as a
Right.
bomber, just because now, even with the point drop, Nim only dropped 4 points. I just don't think that, that's still plus 10, minus 4. You're still up 6.
Yeah, and it's
So-
the same with the resistance bomber.
I think maybe they're just trying to keep X-Wing from becoming a bombing game
Right.
like it was in 1.0.
Yeah.
The other big one I wanted to talk about, kind of backtracking a little bit, on both sides, Rebel and Scum, the Hawk 290 actually gained points, and then the Title gained points. And I've been saying for a little while that ship is so much better than it was in
It's so good.
1.0.
Which was nice to see.
Yeah,
It was
'cause
nice to
a
see it on
cool
the
ship.
table. It was nice to see some play, some interaction with other ships, which, I mean, it was good at in 1.0.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just not worth it in some situations.
Right.
So.
There were cool setups you could do with it,
Yeah.
and TLT was great
Yeah.
on it back in 1.0, but now, it was so good. I'm surprised to see the Title gain so much.
Yeah.
Just because, it is good, and it goes back to the action efficiency thing.
Mm-hmm.
Slow rolling for a little while, building up those focus tokens, going into battle, handing them out, doing whatever you need
You
to do.
gain in a whole firing arc as well.
That's
so.
true. That's true. And with somebody like Jan, that's huge.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where this point change is going to take us.
Yes, for sure.
I
If you
think
guys have any lists
good.
that you've already thought of, already tried out, post them in the comments. Sometimes I go through and look and just see what people are conjuring up and
Yeah.
see if I'm on the right track.
Yeah, I just don't have time to build the list that I want to anymore. The last one I built, I enjoyed and I liked. It was a Drea with a mini swarm sort of thing, which
Oh,
I
yeah,
found
yeah.
out later is actually
Kind
a
of
thing.
a thing, yeah.
But
The dreaded. Yeah.
the dreaded Drea.
Yeah.
Drea mini swarm. But yeah, it would definitely be cool to see some lists that you guys are thinking up. I know that I'm not the best with math, and so it's cool to see like
Numbers
when other
are hard.
people when other people share a list, you know, how they've done the equations of health to point value,
Right.
things like that.
Right, which I was trying to see what I could fit into a Rebels list to still be decent now, and I fit initiative 3s, like 5 initiative 3s, so 2 B wings, 2 A wings, and an X wing, which you still could do before the point change, but it was like no wiggle room. Here it gives you like
7.
points of wiggle room, so you could
That's just
up a
nuts.
pilot if you wanted to. You could add some upgrades, some talents, or whatever. But
So good.
it's super cool.
Yeah.
If you want a complete list of the points change, what they were, what they are now, check out our description below. We'll post a link there. There's a nice table somebody put together for us.
Thanks, somebody.
Yeah, and also check out our Facebook page. And then our Twitter. We don't have an Instagram. What else don't we have?
We have sort of
Tumblr.
we sort of have a Discord.
We do have a Discord. Yeah.
I think I'm the only one in it right now.
Sure.
But you guys can join, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
Do
post
some
the link.
Destiny stuff. Here's our top 8 Destiny League online league.
Yeah.
Right here. So
That was
Yeah.
fun. I'll definitely be posting that list soon.
Yeah.
Maybe do even a little bit of a video discussing that.
Yeah. Cool.
So until next time, this has been Same Game, State of the Game, Address 2.0.
Michael, Tim, and Corbin.